What is up, guys? It is John here, aka Dekkster, with Hearthstone, and this is gonna be our first wild report that we're going over. Actually, so there's a shit ton of stuff to cover here. All this information's from Vicious Syndicate. I'll link it below, and you guys can be sure to check that out if you want to look into anything, you know, more in depth, or if I don't cover a topic, you can go ahead and go in there and look at it. So first of all, I'm going to look at what's being played at all ranks, right? So Pirate Warrior is huge. Pirate Warrior is still most played and one of the best decks, really. We have a little bit of Taunt Warrior going on here, but look at that bar, guys. That is like more than most classes. Like the only other thing that's played more than that is Mage, right? I mean, all of Mage combined is more than Pirate Warrior. Other than that, Pirate Warrior is played more than everything else. So Pirate Warrior, everyone hates it. It's cancerous, but it's really good. It's so fucking good, guys. And it's just a lot more smooth than, you know, than I guess like the standard Pirate, just because of the way the deck is, and you have more cards to choose. And anyways, I'll go over the deck list later. But yeah, we got some Reno Mage, Tempo Mage. You know, that's a little different than your standard ranked ladder, right? We got Reno Priest, mid-range Shaman's pretty good over here. We got Aggro Shaman also starting to make its way in. Mid-range Paladin, really good. But once again, lots of different Paladin archetypes that are pretty much equally played. We got Egg Druid, Reno Warlock, and then Crystal Rogue made it over here to Wild. And then we got Midrange Hunter. So I'm gonna sort these a little bit differently. We'll look at rank 15 to rank 11 here. For some reason, there is a ton of Reno Priest being played. Lots of Pirate Warrior, of course, but if you're looking for rank 15 to rank 11, this is what you might want to tech against, I guess. Let's look at 10 to 6 Pirate Warrior. I mean, if you're not playing Pirate Warrior, maybe you want to throw some Golakka Crawlers in there, right? Just tech against this, because look at that. Holy shit. And then at Legend, still lots of Pirate. But Egg Druid starts picking up. All right, so here we got the matchup chart. I recommend looking at this, you know, clicking the link below, going there. You can see what's good against what sucks against what. So if you want to play Pirate Warrior, be like, hey, what is Pirate Warrior bad against? Pretty much nothing, right? I guess Egg Druid is favorable against Pirate Warrior. I guess you know, Pirate Warrior is not too good against Aggro Shaman or Control Shaman or Control Warrior. But you want me to show you how to use this? I'll show you how to use this. All right. So you want to play you want to play we'll say mid-range Paladin, right? So you go to mid-range Paladin, and you can see what you suck against. Slightly unfavorable against Rogue, even against another mid-range Paladin. Right, no, sorry, Aggro Shaman. I read that wrong. It gets a little confusing. Slightly unfavorable against Control Shaman, but really you're only going to struggle against Shaman and Miracle Rogue. So it's pretty good against everything else. But on the other side, if you're struggling against Pirate Warrior, you want to see a deck to counter it, right? I already went over it, but we're going to do it again because everyone hates Pirate Warrior. Reno Mage. All right. And then Control Warrior. So maybe if you just say, you know what, fuck the Pirates, then go ahead and jump on Control Warrior. And you'll win most of the time. Or, you know, Reno Mage or Egg Druid. But there's that. We got colorblind chart also if you want to look at that. Let's go ahead and look at the power rankings here. Power rankings is pretty much, I take it as like that's the percentage that you'll win with the deck. Anything over 50 is considered good, in my opinion, and many other people's opinions. But yeah, we got this is all ranks this is sorted by all ranks, right? So we got tier 1, tier 2, mid-range Paladin, 57, 57 guys. Like, what else is that good? Nothing in standard is that overpowered, right? So why would you not play that? I don't know. But Pirate Warrior is also good. We got 55. Secret Paladin at 54. Secret Mage, Dragon Priest, Aggro Shaman, and Egg Druid rounding up tier 1. All tier 2 is also solid if you want to play. But if you're climbing from rank 15 to rank 11, this is pretty much what you want to play here. You want to play tier 1, so grab any deck from here and you will do really good, especially if you choose Pirate Warrior, Midrange, Paladin, or Secret Paladin. Secret Mage too, but yeah. It's just, look at Midrange, guys. It's way above it. It's almost 58 there, 58% win rate. What the hell? And then we got rank 10 to rank 6 here. Pretty much the same decks. And then rank 5 to rank 1, which I think it might be more competitive than the legend ranks. So I'm just not going to cover legend. If you want to look at legend, you can look here. But I'm going to do rank 5 to rank 1 because that's where everyone's trying real fucking hard to get legend. So, mid-range Paladin, Pirate Warrior, Secret Mage, Aggro Shaman. Once you get to rank 5, play those. And most of all, play mid-range. If you want to be cancerous but still do good, Pirate Warrior. I mean, I'm fine with Pirate Warrior. I play some Pirate Warrior. You know, it's cancerous, I understand. But if you want quick games, you want to do good, go ahead and play it. It keeps the meta, you know, keeps the meta excited. I guess I wouldn't say excited. It keeps other decks thinking of how to beat Pirate. Do you know? Never mind. You know what? Never mind. So going back to the popularity distribution chart here, we're just gonna go over this briefly, okay? So I think a lot of new decks were made when the Heroic Tavern Brawl came out, the Wild Heroic Tavern Brawl. You know, a lot of streamers and stuff started participating in that, doing new decks for people to play, and kind of came out with new, good, wild archetypes with Ungoro cards, right? So that kind of made things a little more spicy, you know what I mean? But somehow it's still dominated by Pirate Warrior, at least in terms of popularity. We saw by the power rankings that mid-range Paladin's a little bit better, but Pirate Warrior is it's so good still. It's so good, guys. I don't know what they're gonna do about that. Rotate cards out of Wild? I don't know. Probably not. Nerf Wild? I don't know, guys. Anyways, we got Mage being real diverse here, actually. I was talking about how just how Paladin in general is really diverse. Lots of good decks. Look at Secret Mage, guys. 4 different types. What? It's like so many good Secret Mage. I mean, so many good mages. God damn. So many good mages. And it's consistent. It's diverse. And I mean, there's even like Exodia Mage and other mage, whatever that is. Priest, pretty cool too. Priest, pretty cool. Very interesting. Reno Priest, something that's exciting and fun and wild that you will not find, you know, in standard. We got Shaman, also quite diverse. Mid-range Shaman, really good. Aggro Shaman, really good. Control Shaman, pretty good. So there's that. And then we got all the Paladins, super good, super good. We got Egg Druid, right? It's not played very much in low ranks, just the Druid class in general. But once you get to the higher ranks, for some reason, you start seeing a lot of Egg Druid. You know, like the token Druid that's popular now is pretty much the same thing as Egg Druid, but they throw eggs in there, and instead of token, it becomes egg. It becomes egg. Anyways, Warlock is still playable because of Reno Warlock. Look at this. Zoo, not much. Reno, bam. Bunch of Reno. Tons of fun. Play Reno if you love Warlock. Play Wild. Play Reno. It's good. Good shit right there. Zoo is nearly non-existent from rank 5 to Legend. So, I don't know. I don't know about a Zoo Warlock here. Rogue. Crystal Rogue. I don't know. For some reason, I don't want to play Crystal Rogue in Wild. I'd rather play it in Standard. But I guess there's new cards you can run in there from Wild that kind of make it a little more exciting. But anyways, Hunter is still, you know, not too good, I guess. Mid-range Hunter is the main viable archetype here. Maybe something later will come out as people keep messing with Wild and as time goes on. I don't know. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do, because there's so much content to cover here, because I've never covered one of these, I think I'm just going to go over the top like 4 or 5 classes that I found interesting, and then next month I'll cover some more because there's not going to be so many decks as there is now because I haven't covered anything, you know what I mean? So I'm probably going to go over mid-range paladin, pirate warrior, secret paladin, aggro shaman, maybe I'll go some control shaman, maybe some Reno, egg druid. I don't know, I can't tell you. I mean, I can tell you, but just watch the video. But anyways, first we're gonna start with druid. All right, so for druid, Jade Druid is kind of struggling because mid-range paladin is doing so good it just slaughters Jade Druid. So the #1 druid deck is the egg druid, the lovable egg druid, right guys? So we got egg druid, which is actually favorable against pirate warrior, which is maybe one of the best things about it. It is a little weak against inner fire priest, control shaman, so I guess maybe that's why you don't see it too much in the lower ranks. But once you hit like rank 5, go to legend, it starts getting popular. We got 3 different versions of egg druid. We got regular egg druid, which is just regular. We're not going to talk too much about it, right? But check it out, it's going to be right here. And it's not as exciting as hobgoblin egg druid, right? Skywalker's hobgoblin egg druid. This one's really cool. It runs with the hobgoblin. There's just a bunch of nice synergy there. You know, it's played very similarly to token druid in the sense where you want to flood the board, and then you buff them up. You buff up your guys, and then what do they do? They panic. They reach for the concede button. That's what happens. It incorporates, you know, living manas, once again, things to buff up. We got Savage War, we got Jeeves, so you could just dump your hand, you refill it with Jeeves. We got Echoing Ooze, you can buff those guys up, they double, and oh my god, double buffs. We got Living Roots, which you can just drop 2 1/1s on the board, really good there. It also runs Innervate, which brings me to Innervate Egg Druid, right? So Innervate Egg Druid, I mean, it's kind of like your standard Egg Druid, but has Innervate, which helps you, you know, just throw cards out faster, which actually, in my opinion, I think it has good synergy with Jeeves. So you know, you dump your cards out with Innervate, you got Jeeves, and you're gonna get more cards to dump. So good synergy there. Good synergy. Yeah, I mean, Egg Druid real strong right now. I think that's all I got to say about the Druid. Hunter, guys. It's all about mid-range and, you know, in standard. But here we got some crazier stuff going on, guys. We got, well, I mean, there's the normal like mid-range hunter thing, but I think the most exciting, and one of the reasons why we play Wild, right guys? We play it for a little more fun. And we got the Enzoth mid-range hunter. What you say? Enzoth? Yep. Mid-range hunter with Enzoth, guys. It's, you know, of course it runs, you know, the death rattles, it runs Enzoth, and we got some crazy things that you don't see in standard, such as, well, you don't see freezing traps anymore, you don't see mad scientists, you don't got quick shot, you know, pilot shredder, the belcher, boom, and of course Enzoth. So if you're looking for some fun, looking for a good mid-range hunter deck, go ahead and check out the Enzoth mid-range hunter. As far as mage, guys, you saw there was a ton of good mage decks right now that are all really competitive and viable, but once again, we play Wild for some fun stuff. So my favorite list is Shows. I'm probably saying that wrong, I'm sorry. I know he's a big person here, but I just can't say the name. I have trouble with names. Shows Enzoth Reno Mage. Oh my god, guys. This deck is what the fuck. This is why you play Wild. We got some crazy stuff here, and it's Enzoth on top of it already being crazy in Reno. I mean, it's hard to go wrong here. But if you don't have these cards, I know it's kind of an expensive list here. We got 12,600 dust for the cost of this one. Man, I mean, it runs crazy cards, you know. It's got Pyros. Not everyone's going to have Pyros. Not everyone's going to have, you know, Boom and Sylvanas at this point. And not everyone's going to have Enzoth. So I guess it is a little expensive. I don't know if you can really replace anything with anything. But if you have the cards, I definitely recommend trying this one out. It's a lot of fun. And it's viable in Wild. Paladin. Paladin is so good, you guys. It is so good. Like, you think, hey, Pyro Warrior's the bet. No, mid-range Paladin, guys. Mid-range Paladin. I've had a lot of success with it, actually. I'm going to be using it to maybe try and hit Legend if I can find the time to grind it out. Roar's Steward mid-range Paladin. This is, the synergy is off the chain. Is that what they say? Off the chain. It is good. It is dank. You got Lost in the Jungle. You throw some little tokens. I mean, I guess it's almost like a token board in a way. I mean, a token deck. You flood the board with your recruits, and then you hit them with some crazy stuff like a Quartermaster, a Light Fuse Stegodon, a Sunkeeper Tarim. It is insane, and there's so many ways to flood the board. You can do it with Muster for Battle. You could do it with what's it called? Stand Against Darkness, right? Lost in the Jungle. I mean, just press in your hero power. It's so easy to repopulate the board if you happen to lose control. That's what's so great about it. So let's say you lose control. Your opponent has some big guys on the board. You just you use your hero power. You use a Steward of Darkshire, and then you muster for battle, and all of a sudden you got a ton of dudes with divine shields, and your opponent's starting to freak out, right? Then you hit them with the equality, you bop them, then maybe you go for I don't know, a Stegodon or something. It's just so many different ways to buff them. This one's a lot of fun. When I first look at the list, I didn't think it would be that fun. But yeah, it's more fun than you think, guys. It's more fun than you think. We also got Secret Paladin to talk about, which is a completely different playstyle, completely different deck aside from its Paladin. And it has some similar cards like Muster for Battle and Shield Bot. Anyways, this one is primo, also really good. And the fact that there's two different kinds of Paladins that are, you know, top tier keeps it exciting. No one knows if you're playing Secret or if you're playing mid-range, so they don't know what to mulligan for, and you know, it's kind of hard to play against Paladin right now. So you got Secrets, which are kind of hard to play around. Not a lot of people run like Eater of Secrets or anything here. I mean, people got flares and stuff, so I guess it's a little different in Wild. You know, different flare effects, I mean. But yeah, this one's a lot of fun. You got Tyrion, Boom, you know, just higher curve here, and Secrets most of all. The Mysterious Challenger, always been a fun card, you know, just throwing all those secrets out there. It's just really good. Definitely check this out if you're looking to play some Secret Paladin and destroy the ladder with secrets. So Priest is actually really good in Wild, unlike, you know, Standard right now, I guess, but it has so many different options for you to play. You know, there's an Inner Fire list, there's more mid-rangey lists like Dragon Priest, and then there's slower versions like the Reno, which I'm probably gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about it. And then you know, it's just it's nice and refreshing to be able to have so many options here with Priest. So if you got a Priest main, or not if you got a priest, if you are a Priest main, Wild is nice right now. Wild is good to you. Standard, not so much. You got like Dragon, and that's about it right now. But Wild is a blast. I'm gonna talk about a crazy deck because it's Wild, and it's Wild. Yeah, it's Wild. It's fun. It's Wild. Reno, Enzoth, Priest. God, I just love Reno decks, guys. Like, it was such a good time, and they're still doing really good right now. We got, of course, we got Reno and the Enzoth. It's just a sick deck, guys. You know how to play Reno. Tons of different cards, so it always keeps it fresh and exciting. And one of the main things I worry about is a deck kind of going stale. So here's a great option if you're Priest. You know, of course, there's always going to be Dragon Priest options and stuff like that, but I'm not going to talk about those. I'm talking about the crazy Enzoth Reno Priest. Check it out. Definitely recommend this one. It's a lot of fun. So I said I wouldn't play, you know, like Quest Rogue in Wild, but there are a lot of fun cards to throw in Wild that aren't playable in Standard. So I take that back, but I'm not gonna talk about Quest Rogue. Maybe I'll talk about them next month on the next video, but I am going to talk about the Malygos Miracle Rogue. I used to play this deck so much back in the day, so much, and it was just fun. I mean, not this exact list, just a Malygos Miracle Rogue. Miracle Rogue. That runs Malygos. But this one is amazing, guys. We got, of course, the Malygos. It plays like a normal Miracle Rogue, right? But you're able to discount cards with the Emperor, and then you're able to get super crazy damage out with Malygos, and maybe even before you play Malygos, you throw an Alex down, and you drop him down 15 health. It's just insane. It is good. It is so good. It's a lot of fun. Miracle Rogue. I mean, it's not as competitive or viable as other decks, but once again, if you're just looking for some fun and wild, I recommend checking this out. You can also try Quest, but once again, not the most viable class, but still fun. Still fun. So I realize I keep saying how many decks are viable for different classes, but it's just true, guys. Like for Shaman, there's four or five different versions. I mean, different deck archetypes that are so good. We got Aggro Shaman, Control Shaman, Midrange Shaman, Malygos Shaman, Murloc Shaman. It's all good. It's all insane. But the strongest of these is going to be Aggro Shaman. That's what I'm going to talk about right now. There are, you know, Control Shaman, Midrange. They're all good. But for this video, I'm going to focus on Aggro Shaman. My favorite list is Specialists, Aggro Shaman, and it's a great choice if you want to climb ladder. It's got quick games. It's not too weak against, you know, any. It just has no horrible matchups, I guess. It's not as good against Pirate Warrior. If Pirate Warrior gets an insane opener, which is possible, but not, you know, not always gonna happen. It can beat Pirate Warrior, but it's just so good. It's I guess if you're like, oh, why would I play it over Pirate Warrior? I guess there's no reason aside from a little you know, a little change, a little more fun for you. Maybe Pirate Warrior gets boring. I don't know, but it's good. It might struggle against control decks and Reno a little bit, but it should be able to pump out the damage before they're able to do. It should be able to pump out the damage before they can stop you. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, this deck is really cool. It runs the OP Tunnel Trog, right? We got Crackles for some more overloadage. We got Feral Spirit for some more overloadage. Lava Burst overloadage. Flame Weathered Faceless, more overloadage. And this one actually runs a Hammer of Twilight. So this deck is real good. Lots of fun. And it's just overall solid. Tier 1 also, might I say. Tier 1. Tier 1. Warlock is well known for Reno Lock, and for a reason, guys. It's really good, really solid, lots of fun. It's still one of the most popular archetypes in Wild. However, it is declining, and I think it's going to continue declining. The least amount of play for this deck is in Legend, if that says anything. I think it just kind of struggles against more aggro decks. You know, Pirate Warrior and Crystal Rogue might beat it also, but because it struggles against aggro, my favorite list right now is Crouton's X-Crouton, X-Crouton's anti-aggro. This deck is very solid. It has a lot of anti-aggro tools, right? It's got you know, they all got Shadow Flame, but we also got like Mortal Coil, we got Mistress of Mixtures, Dark Peddler, Dark Bomb, Doomsayer. There's so many different cards. I just have to, you know, pretty much read through the whole list because it's all a bunch of anti-aggro stuff. We also got Twisting Nether, we got Lord Jiraxis. We can, you know, put up the punchies and start taking guys out. So that's a good one if you're looking to play Reno Warlock for anti-aggro. Of course, there's the other solid decks that maybe are a little more fun. You'll struggle against aggro, but we got like Doc Rowdy's and Zoth Reno Warlock. So there's that. But I'm not going to talk about that one too much. I think the best one right now is anti-aggro, just because there's so much aggro, and there probably always will be. But yeah, I think Reno Lock is kind of on the decline in terms of popularity, but not in terms of fun. Always fun, not always good. Alright guys, this is the deck. This is the deck aside from Mid-Range Paladin. This is the shit. This is also really bad cancer. Really bad cancer. You might hate everyone who plays it, but you cannot say it's not like the second best deck, because according to statistics, that's what it is. I don't know. I personally would rather play against Pirate Warrior than like Secret Paladin, just because I find it frustrating. Pirate Warrior, you kind of know the deal. You kind of know how to play against it. You know how to play around it. Not that you can play around it, but you know how you want to play around it. But you never draw the right cards, and they just hurt too much, and you die. Anyways, I'm thinking of doing a video on this one, even though I guess most people know how to play it, and they might hate me. But it's just good. It's solid, and I'm using it for my climb. I'm not ashamed to admit that I am one of the administrators of the cancer. Just to climb fast and efficiently. Yeah, I have a very positive win rate with it. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's good. Basically, you want a mulligan for cards like Enzos First Mate. That's pretty much, if you get that, you win, right? You also want Fiery War Axe, Ship's Cannon. Those are like the big three, the big boys, right? If you get a Ship's Cannon in hand, and you also have an Enzos First Mate, you might want to hold off on playing the Enzos. You might want to wait for turn 2 and then put the cannon, coin out the Enzoth, or until maybe, I don't know, I guess turn 2 you still play it, and then turn 3 you'd play the Enzoth. Or you could even, in certain circumstances, wait for turn 3, then throw the cannon, then the Enzoth, then you shoot two random 2 damages because it pulls patches, it hits them with the Enzoth, and then you also have your weapon that's 5 damage. Just it's good. It flows nicely. You rarely don't draw the cards you need, although there are some cases where you're just drawing the high side of your curve and you'll hate everything, but it's okay because everything hates you. Anyways, Control's Pirate Warrior. Control's Pirate Warrior is not a control deck. It's made by Control, but it is a Pirate Warrior deck, and it is very good. So if you want to be cancerous, I recommend it. It's good. It's good. Alright guys, as far as budget decks, I don't know. I'm thinking if you want to play budget, you might want to just play standard, because there's so many like old cards that you're not really going to use in anything but wild in wild. But I guess I don't know, the most budget thing I could think of is Pirate Warrior, and replace Leroy with like a Mortal Strike. Patches is irreplaceable. Yeah, those are my thoughts on budget. But anyways, if you guys like the video, please like the damn video and sub and share. Tell all your friends. If you guys didn't like the video, you're feeling a little salty, I actually got something going on here. If you want to support the segment, even if you're not salty, you just want to support the segment, I will put a link to some table salt and some popcorn salt, guys. If you're feeling salty, you buy the salt. A little bit of money and no additional charge to you goes to me, so that'll help me out. So you know, so I can afford a razor to shave my face. Yeah. So popcorn salt, Superfine salt. It's super fine, as you can see by this picture. Does not supply iodide, a necessary nutrient. So you cannot live on this salt, is what this is saying. You cannot live on it. We also got 25 pounds if you're feeling extra salty. It's a little bit more expensive, but that means more kickback to me, more money for me, guys. So yeah, I think if you use this link, you can actually buy anything on Amazon, and I'll get a little bit of kickback. But anyways, thanks again to Vicious Syndicate for providing the data. Their link will be below. Below? The link will be below. Like again, sub again, share again. And yeah, I'm gonna do a standard top decks for next month. I'm gonna skip next week on these because the meta hasn't been shifting too much, but I will do another wild next month if this one gets good reception. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.